Good morning, home learners. Today we're going to be learning about what is a tax and how taxes work today, or what taxes are on today, even back in during the colonists' days. But we're also going to be learning about what no taxation without representation means. Okay. Before we do that, I want you guys to go to the last page of your packet. It's called "The Road to American Freedom: A Timeline of the American Revolution." Okay, so right away with number one, just write number one down, which is the French, and that's an and sign, or you can just write out and French and Indian War, 1754 till 1763. Okay, next we're gonna be getting into what is a tax. Okay, so I would flip to page 7 in your packet, because you'll be writing this down. So what is a tax? A tax is a specific amount of money that you pay separately to the government, okay? On page 7, that would go right here, okay? Please do not forget to pause the video at times so you can write this down. I'm going to flip it back to here so you can write that down right there in the top right corner on page 7, okay? Next, we're going to be learning about paying taxes. Even today, we pay taxes on food, clothing, and on the money we make from our jobs. American citizens vote for people to represent the beliefs and ideas. These elected men and women decided on taxes they feel are needed to run our country. The tax money that we pay goes to help fund different things such as schools, buildings, roads, and community programs. Now that we learn about paying taxes, we're going to be learning about no taxation without representation, okay? So when colonists cried out no taxation without representation, they meant that they didn't want to be taxed on something without being able to share their opinion about the tax in the government. So, as we're going to be learning about today, the king decided to tax the colonists, as we learned from last lesson too, because of the French and Indian War, because they had war debt, okay? The colonists didn't get to say or have an opinion about these taxes, okay? Typically, if they lived in England / Great Britain, they would have had an opinion. But because they lived in the colonies, King George felt like they did not need opinion. Okay? So, here I would write down this right here, okay? Again, I would pause the video because why I put the colonists didn't want to be taxed on something without being able to share their opinion about the tax in the government. Okay. Now, we're actually going to be learning about a story that is called No Taxation Without Representation, okay? So this will be posted on Google Classroom. Okay? I would like to mention down here they will talk about the Sons of Liberty, okay? So I'm going to read this out for you. Join me tomorrow night. I'm attending a meeting held by the Sons of Liberty, who are going to discuss our next plan of action. Who are the Sons of Liberty? They are a group of men who will not stand for these injustices that the king is forcing us upon us. They are working together to fight back and show the king who is really boss. So, I'm going to read over the course of the next few years, many men met in secret with the Sons of Liberty. The group first began meeting in Boston, but over time there was a groups meeting in every colony. These groups often chose violent methods against the British, often attacking the tax collectors. These group of men only made the king and government more angry and more determined to make the colonists behave. So, what the Sons of Liberty is a group of people that started to meet together because they felt like their opinion could be heard around each other. for them, one way to get their opinion heard to the king was misbehaving, according to the king, and attacking the tax collectors, or as we see, the Sons of Liberty will be doing other attacks that we'll be learning about through this course, okay, for the next couple weeks, okay? So, once this is all done, once you read through, no taxation, readers, no taxation without representation, this right here, which will be posted on Google Classroom, okay? I want you to go to page 8 in your packet. It will look like this. That's page 7. Here's page 8, okay? This is what mine looks like. I haven't wrote anything down yet for it. But I'm going to read this off to you, okay? King George and the colonists disagreed about the taxes that the colonists had to pay. Fill in the speech bubbles below of something King George might have said about the taxes and what a colonist might have said about the taxes, okay? This is after you read this right here, okay? This will be posted on Google Classroom. Next, I want you to go to page 9 and fill out the journal question, okay? The journal question is, if you were a colonist living during the Revolutionary War time, do you think you would be a part of the Sons of Liberty? Explain your thinking. So, if you put, yes, I would have been part of the Sons of Liberty, put why you would have been part of it, okay? If you would have put no, explain why you would not have been part of it, okay? Again, after that, do the learning target and self-evaluation. So the learning target is, I can explain what no taxation without representation means, okay? So you've got it, still working on it, which is okay, or you need help. If you mark this one, again, don't be afraid to ask Mrs. Pins and I questions, okay? It's okay to email us and asking questions. So you can never ask for too much help, okay? So I would always advise, if you need help, ask questions, okay? And that is it for today. So I would check Google Classroom. The video is on there. This will be on here, okay? And since I'm showing the slides now, I would go back to the video and write this down too, okay? These two right here. And that's page, what was a tax and no taxation without representation, is both on page 7. Okay, page 8 is right here, okay? But again, before you do that, make sure you go to the last page of your packet and do The Road to Freedom, a timeline of the American Revolution. Make sure you do the French and Indian War, 1754 to 1763. I hope you guys all have a great day. It's very important to read this, okay? And if some reason you can't get to it, email Mrs. Pins and I, okay? Have a great day, everyone.